Hey guys, glad to be here, and I'm super excited to have you guys with me today to be a part of this wonderful episode of our Unsuccessfully Successful podcast. We're going to keep the hitter short and get right into the point, so that you guys can get the most out of it. Today's topic is drumroll, please. You guessed it, it's time management.
That's right. Great job, Pratham. Time was a really important concept for us, high schoolers. We're people who currently do not understand the importance of time. And due to the fact that we don't understand it, we've lost a lot of it in the past. And that led to us, underperforming and led to a lot of our mistakes. So in order for you guys to avoid that, we're gonna give you some of our personal experiences on different issues or like different subsections of what time management is, and just keep you guys informed. So with that being said, let's get right into today's topic of the killers of productivity. Now, the killers of productivity, right? Right. So basically, we got the comfort zone. The comfort zone is something everyone should be familiar with at this point. It basically, what a comfort zone is you stay in this little bubble of yours and you feel really comfortable, really cozy, and like, yes, I want to stay in this place. I don't want to go anywhere else. The moment you start feeling that, that's what your comfort zone will be. The moment you start neglecting change and be like, I don't want no more change in my life. I want to stay. I want everything to be the way it is right now. That's comfort zone. From a personal experience, I have a lot of experiences with comfort zone, but this one's is strikingly obvious to me. So back when I was in America, which was a year and a half to 2 years ago, I was before COVID, everything was fine. I was pretty sociable. But then once once COVID got into full swing and once lockdown and restrictions were implied, I stayed at home, sat in front of my computer screen for 12 hours straight every single day, doing my work, entertainment, and even social media. Everything was online then. I didn't get to meet anyone in person because my parents didn't let me. That's one thing. And the other, I never took the initiative to ask them to go out. I just felt like, oh, this is cool. I can do everything by sitting in one spot. That only made me lazier and ineffective in everything I did. And I just lost a lot of my skills, my social skills back then. But the thing that motivated me to get back on my stupid butt to get work in is when I moved to India. I moved to India from America on June of last year, and that like process of moving to a new place is so daunting at the beginning. And when I got here, I felt like it was so bad and I can't do anything. I can't function. My body is so tired all the time. Jet lag. My jet lag lasted for 2 months because that was an excuse. That wasn't a reality. So for the first semester of my school, it was terrible. I barely made friends, barely talked to anybody. But then
Right.
something I realized was that after the beginning of the new semester, I wanted to be a new person. So I started to talk to everybody in my school, made a lot of new friends, which led to me actually accepting Pratham's invite to join this podcast, to be a part of this amazing experience and to learn a lot from it. And due to that, I would say my social skills have improved a lot lately. And that's my take on what a comfort zone is and how you guys can get out of it. Face it head on and keep going forward. That's the only way you learn from everything around you.
Well said, my guy. Okay. So for me, okay, I'll start with defining what comfort zone or your brain's desire to keep you safe is. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it is the willingness to act in spite of fear. Okay. Fear is the root of procrastination for me, please. Your brain can be your great enemy or your great friend. It tries to protect you from all the physical and emotional harm, so it avoids both, you see, and decide if you need protection, because you can have the power to move past these signals of fear and push right through it. For me personally, I've felt fear all my life. Okay, and recently I gave my 10 board exams. They were cancelled, but I had to study for my board exams, and I luckily finished my syllabus a few months
Right,
before the actual board exams. So yeah,
right.
what I went through was immense fear. The fear not because I finished the portions really fast, but the thing was I procrastinated the next month, which was
Mm,
my fault of planning. I not plan, okay? So I finished my syllabus. I had this for like 1 month, where I procrastinated like hell, I got fear. Fear can give you three things, okay? You could fight, you could flight, or you could freeze. I froze. I froze bad, okay? So what I went through was bad fear. Fear made me freeze. It did not, it did not help me be efficient. It did not motivate me to actually go get stuff done. I was really demotivated. The one thing I would love to do was sit down, procrastinate. Procrastinate was something which I was doing actively. I knew I'm procrastinating and I was procrastinating. So one killer of productivity efficiency is fear for me especially, and that and I
Right.
actually
Yeah, I agree with you, Pratham. That's perfect.
yeah it took
Sorry to cut you off like in the middle. We're running out of time actually. So, all right, Vilvanesh, let's see what you got to say, buddy.
Okay, so my definition or like my thing about comfort zone is like whatever causes discomfort or fear is outside your comfort zone, and where you're actually happy and you feel safe, that is part of your comfort zone. But the thing is, you cannot develop yourself or your personality if you don't move out of your comfort zone. So you need to try new things. You need to do things you've never always wanted to do, but you were too scared to do. For example, so I always wanted to challenge myself more, and so I've recently started running training for a marathon. But running is a very daunting experience. It requires a lot of training, a lot of nutrition, and like proper training also. So I could have a lot of injuries and I could get hurt. But still,
Mhm.
I got out of my comfort zone and I started training. And now it's been a slow progress, but I've made a lot of improvement. And hopefully, I'll be able to run a marathon soon. So yeah, that's me trying to push out of the comfort zone and try something new. And my solution for anyone who's trying to get out of a comfort zone or to try or get like have a technique to get out of the comfort zone is talk to three strangers a day. Like all of us know like talking to strangers is a very daunting task. So this like don't like randomly go and talk to a stranger. Just maybe talk to your apartment watchman or the ice cream vendor or like anyone like who you kind of know but you haven't really like talked to. So do that, and also
Right.
like take cold showers to like
Uh huh.
improve like because
Exactly.
when you take cold showers, you're putting your body through a lot of
Exactly.
discomfort, and
Right.
you do develop a lot also. So yeah.
Right. I totally agree with you, Vilvanesh. Like when you said we got to talk to strangers, and when Pratham said that he was so afraid of board exams, such a daunting task that he just froze, right? I totally agree with you guys on that part. Sometimes we have so much stuff going around us that we feel overwhelmed a lot, right? Like we're talking about social issues right now, but then when we switch our focus to academics, that's another huge part of our lives as a high schooler. I mean, not just a high schooler, any student like going through any grade from 1 to 12 will tell you that. On top of this, we got to socialize as well, right? If you want to cover everything and actually have a holistic approach and a holistic routine to maintain and sustainably continue like a quote unquote perfect environment surrounding us, we need to have a plan as well. So what do you guys think about that, like having a plan or being overwhelmed in general?
Okay, planner. So for me, planning was really important, and I understood the importance of planning again during my board exam. So what happened after me freezing for a month or procrastinating for a month was I got this study. I read the particular study, and we'd actually like to link the study down. So yeah, just check it out. I got to the study, and that's when I found out procrastination could be beat. We could actually beat procrastination by planning. So I tried planning every single day out, like little by little, to not feeling overwhelmed about the work I have, but just concentrating on the task I have to do for the day. One important thing, though, what I have learned from the whole planning journey of mine was planning is really important. It could actually save you lots of hours, lots of you
Right.
know uh, stress, future stress. But one important thing is just don't worry about not finishing everything. Try prioritizing stuff. So once you actually prioritize stuff, you'll know the stuff what you're actually aiming to complete and which are like more important. So you'll actually for in the whole day, it's not possible to complete every single thing you plan out, but you'll definitely complete the few things you've prioritized. So yeah, you've got some work done. This will help you from the future stress. You go under. Yeah. So what do you think, Ganesh?
Yeah, I think planning is like a major part of your life and it's really essential. For example, before I joined IB, I was in ISC, which is a really rigorous course in terms of the volume of books you need to learn. So, like, it was very daunting, and I never had a long-term plan to like finish all those. I didn't have even a midterm plan, and I also didn't have like a daily plan. So I like didn't even have a plan. I thought I could just listen to teachers and just like study hard. So that was my opinion. So every day I would think of studying hard, and I'd wake up early in the morning and I try studying, but like it would immediately lead to procrastination because I didn't know what to do. And if I'd actually done some productive studying for 1 hour, I'd feel that I need to take a break, or like my urge to procrastinate was much more when I didn't have a plan. So when I joined IB, I learned that making a plan was very essential. And so I started making short-term plans and also mid-term plans, and then finally my long-term plans. So like all these three plans are really essential because short-term plans help you get moving, and your long-term plans and your mid-term plans will like help you become a better person, like help you develop yourself to a greater extent.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, so all three plans are very essential. What do you think, Abhiwant?
Yeah, exactly. So you were talking about long-term plans and midterm plans and like just plans in general. Like I totally agree with that fact. But the thing that everyone needs to do, like even though we don't have due dates, right? Like taking Pratham for an example, right? He had boards in like 10th grade, right? And like he had boards at the end of the year, but then he finished everything, and then he just sort of like the panic got to him, and he froze like for a month when he procrastinated. So in order to avoid that, a good suggestion of mine would be to just make up your own due dates for assignments in general, and like keep up with them. Just stay true to yourself first before you like make any commitment, right? So if you want to, well, that's sort of like a weak sort of plan, but if you want to get immediate results like in a given day, would be like tell somebody, like tell your parents, which is I know a pretty daunting task. You guys could go and like talk to them and be like, so like mom or dad, hey, I'm gonna finish this and this today, and I'll prove it to you. I'll prove that I can do it. I'll show the evidence to you, right? And then they'll be like, you always say you do that, but then you never get to finish it, but then you never get around to it. And then you'll be like, no, today's gonna be different. Let's do it, all right? Even if you are not able to keep that up on one day, and even if they do like bring you down a lot, if they do demotivate you, sometimes it happens to me a lot, don't get me wrong. You gotta like fight for it, Don't give up if you can't finish that task on a given day. Be satisfied with whatever you've done, and it may be difficult at first, like, and everything is difficult at the beginning, right? But you gotta push through and take everything seriously and accept it for what it is and do your best, and that's the way you'll learn, and you'll be able to successfully accomplish every single step of your plan. Now if you, for taking another example, right, if you take an English research paper, right, for an example, you have like 3 parts: an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. So for an introduction, let's say the entire thing is due in a week. Keep the introduction due on Wednesday, and then keep the body paragraph due on, I don't know, a Saturday, and a conclusion you can do it on Sunday and proofread everything together, or like do it however you want to, right? But stay true to the due dates, right? And stick with it, stick to the guidelines that you set for yourself. If you are true to yourself at the beginning, then you can satisfy what the school needs, what the curriculum needs, or whatever the people around you may need from you.
Yeah. Can I add on to that?
Yeah, of course, Pratham. Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. So everyone who knows who Parkinson is, he's got this stupid law, which is really interesting though. Okay. So Parkinson's. Right. Okay, quoting Parkinson.
Right.
The adage that work will expand to fill the time allotted for its completion. Okay. Deadlines can cause procrastination or even prompt people to fill their time with trivial matters. I actually agree with what Abhiwant says. So whenever you've got your deadlines, let's say you've got a deadline in a week, coming week, okay, you set a personal deadline, let's say a few days before the actual deadline. So once you try to target those personal deadlines of yours, you get work done, and you may not procrastinate because now you're overwhelmed that you've not got the work done, and better start planning. That's really effective for me personally. And since I'm a high schooler, you're a high schooler, we can kind of bond over here, can we? Yeah. So I'll give it to everyone now.
Yes. So we're talking about planning, we're talking about procrastination, we're talking about comfort zones. Well, what comes next? We do our work, right? We all want to work. At the end of the day, it's all about work. It's all about themselves and how they work, how diligently they work, the effort they put in. Like what you sow, so you reap. Now, while you're working at the beginning, like I would like to call the phase of study the zone, right? For me personally, if I like do any work, for example, let me take physics, right? For me, doing physics every single day was so difficult at the beginning, especially because I haven't done physics in 10th grade. So it was pretty difficult for me to do it in 11th grade in India, like in a wholly different curriculum that I moved to. It was very difficult at the beginning.
Okay.
But then, once yes, this first semester was intimidating, but I didn't give up. I wanted to learn the subject and stick with it, right? So I kept practicing it every single day.
Right.
The first thing I do when I get up is physics. Like for me right now, it's like reading a newspaper, right? That's how I do physics every single day when I get up. I know for a lot of people, that's not the case. For the majority of the people in high school right now, they may get working on the given subject or anything, academics or personal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then if they're not completely invested in that material, whatever they're doing at the given instant in time, they may get sidetracked, or in more teenage high school appropriate terms, distracted through social media or whatever it may be. And this is when they will get out of that zone of studying or like doing anything productive, to a sort of like taking a break. They call it taking a break, but we all know it's not an actual real break. It's called fake. They're called fake breaks, or they leak a lot of time, or like they waste a lot of time. And this teeny fake break at that instant may then transition to what, I got time, I got exams in another month, let's save it for later, let's relax for now.
I
No
agree.
big deal. No big
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
Sure.
So in order to avoid that, you just gotta work through it, and once you get into the zone, you'll be diligent. That's all my point is. All right, Pratham, go ahead, buddy. What were you gonna say?
Okay. Fine. So let me start by defining what time leak means to me. Time leak could be any activity that we kill time with for entertainment, as a break or to break up activity. So you see, it's anything which kills time. So we've got time. We're killing it. It's like a time break. Okay, it's like a time leak. What I would suggest are time audits. So whenever I actually whenever I reflect on my day, there's a new system I've adopted. I go through whatever activities I've done and make a time audit. Time audit is basically noting down where you've spent how much amount of time. That actually indicates, that actually takes me to what my values are. So if I'm, let's say, playing on my PlayStation, I'm playing FIFA. So FIFA becomes my value now because I have invested, let's say, an hour or two on FIFA. So it's a value for me now. But that doesn't sound like a value which I should value. So that's what I've got to correct
Wow.
myself. Okay, and then
Yep.
fake breaks, huh? So fake breaks for me are breaks. Okay, basically breaks are really necessary for being productive. That's what the research shows. But fake breaks are going through Insta for break. Okay, so there are people who study for an hour and take a 5 minute or a 15-minute break. They
Right.
may stick onto let's say social media or surf through the net or go through their emails. These are fake breaks, of course. What I
Mm.
would suggest, and I have implemented these personally with feeling a boost in energies for my next task. I
Right.
usually take a walk in my apartment or whatever the space is. Yeah,
Mm.
I take a walk in my house and that's it. Or maybe grab a sip of water because water is really necessary for getting the energy levels right. Or maybe take a nap. So I've got a 30-minute break. I generally take a nap and not go on my phone because now these are the COVID times, I would say, and everything is online, so your eyes are really strained right now. So that's what I do. I take naps. I drink water. I
Mm. Mm.
talk to my family because that's really important. I talk to my family. I talk to my friends. and drink lots of water. Yeah, take nap.
Yeah,
That's how
those
I
are
tackle
effective breaks.
breaks.
Yeah, those are effective breaks. I agree with you. Bill Manesh, what you got to say about that topic, man?
Yeah. Okay. So for me personally, I cannot work for a very long time and not feel exhausted. So I
Right.
really need to have my
I
breaks,
see. I see.
and my breaks are usually more than 5 minutes. They are about 10 to 15 minutes, and I can typically hold my concentration for like 40, 45 minutes, depending on
I
what
see.
work I do. So
Mm-hmm.
the thing is about like when you take a break, it doesn't matter like how long it is. Like it shouldn't be too long, but like if
Yeah.
10 to 15 minutes you can wait. But I would suggest like as like Pratham and I mentioned, doing something like productive or like you're like supposed to like give a rest for your brain. So if you're gonna use social media or go and watch a YouTube video or watch Netflix, you're not actually doing that and you're procrastinating, which is actually gonna take you outside your zone. Like you're in a
Right.
zone. For me, like my definition of the zone would be like being in a study mode and also taking effective breaks. So when I start procrastinating, I do more of the zone. So some of my effective breaks are I either like just close my eyes and watch my breathing, or I take a like sip of water, or I just go and like wash my face for a few minutes, or I just take a walk around my house. So these are some effective breaks I can take.
Right. To touch upon the fact that you said I would by closing your eyes and like taking some deep breaths, you meant like sort of meditating, like a mini version of a
Yeah,
meditation, right?
I'm like mini meditation, like a 2 minute or a
Right.
3 minute
Right. Yeah.
sequence, not
That's
too
pretty
long.
effective, huh?
Yeah, that is one of the most effective
Right,
ways.
that's pretty effective. So talking about meditation, right? That would actually like bring us to a couple of things we want to talk about, and so that we can also talk about emotional and energy management, right? Like meditation's super important if you're in high school, if you're like busy with a lot of stuff. Sometimes we tend to forget that the world around us is such a big and wonderful place that we get so occupied with the small things, right? Any high school for that matter, right, is only for 4 years. All right, hear me? 4 years, right?
That's
You
right.
have so many more years of high school left. These
Mm-hmm.
4 years don't determine who you're gonna be. All right.
Right.
So with that, you got nothing to lose at the end of the day. All right. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care who you are. I don't care where you're from, right? I know that everyone has the potential to be successful and be the best that they can be. All right.
All right.
In order for them to be the best that they can be, they need to put aside all their difficult times they're facing in high school or like work or anywhere right now. Take a moment to be themselves in a quiet place with a friend or two. Close their eyes and just reflect upon the life that I've been through all these years. One thing I love to do, it's gonna sound really corny, cheesy, and cringy, but that's just who I am. I can't help it. So I'm gonna
Okay.
let you guys have all of it at the end. I'll usually sit outside in the balcony for like 15, 30 minutes. I don't know. I get into another zone of mine that's personal zone stuff. Um, Pokemon, I listen to Pokemon music. I know it's not the traditional rap or hip hop or pop songs. Like I'm not in the top 10, whatever. I don't care. It's been with me like for over 10 years now. That's the first ever song I listened to as a child. As it has never left me. And every time I listen to it, like after I do all my work at the end of the day, I don't care if it's at 1 in the morning or 12 at night, midnight. I just, gives me that sense of peace, inner peace, and makes me feel
Nostalgic.
worth something. Yeah, nostalgic and worth something in this world, right? I know there's a lot of hate in this world. Everywhere you go, we talk about bullying in high school, for example, right? And like out in the
Mm-hmm.
streets, they're very mean, right? In any city, in
That's right.
any place, they're very, very mean. But there are good people as well, like my friends have got my new school, like after coming here, they've made the whole process of adapting to a new system so much more effective, and it's been amazing. I can't even describe that. All right, so
We got your
forever
back.
grateful and thankful for you guys for that. Just can't thank you guys enough. And yeah, that's my personal connect for like emotional energy management. Music is huge, and just take some time to be yourself, at peace with yourself, and appreciate every single moment of your life and the world around you. That's all I gotta say.
Energy management. Okay. So personal connect here. For me, emotional management is like one of the most important things because see, when you're emotional, when you're really sad, you cannot get work done. So me personally, I have gone through this many times. Recently, I wrote my SEMs, and like, just before my SEMs, uh,
We got to
I
talk about
was
those now.
yeah, sure, why not? Okay, so yeah, just before my SEMs, I was really really sad, really depressed because yeah, new school, first SEMs, why not? So what I did with myself was took a moment and thought of like, is there anything to lose? There's like nothing to lose. I've got my family, I've got my friends with me, and if I take it one bit at a time, that's it, bro. Like the whole problem is solved. Until and unless you guys are aware of how to break things, there's this. Okay, so I am a CS student, computer science, and we've learned one thing: modularity is really important, and that's how things work now. Every big problem has got, to find solution to every big problem is to break the problem into really tiny small problems and attack them one by one
Right,
after the other. You see?
right,
So that's what
right.
I've adopted to in my personal life. I take every big problem of mine, break them into these really really small problems, and
Hmm.
then think about them, look them from afar. Compare your problems to the size of your world. Okay, your world meaning your family, your friends, how
Mm-hmm.
important they are to you, and
Mm-hmm.
generally what you've learned enough to make a living. Okay, the high
Yeah.
school we're doing here is, it's really important to know. The high school we're doing here is to just improve the opportunities to earn more. Okay, and to be respected by the general public. Okay, so okay, we've the one thing we should be sure of is there is nothing to lose, and once we get our emotional priorities straight, we can achieve anything. See, once we are in mood, in the zone to work hard, we can become efficient. There's a really thin line between effectiveness and efficiency. Efficiency is getting doesn't matter. Okay, the quantity of work doesn't matter, but the quality of work does matter. So that is efficiency. Effectiveness is where the quality of your work matters.
Right, I
Sorry, the
agree with you,
quantity of your
buddy.
work matters and the
Mm-hmm.
quality doesn't. So
Yep,
that's really important, and that's from my
yep,
side. Thank you.
yep.
Uh, so yeah, like a really good speech by Pratham, and I'd just like to add like emotional and like yeah, the way I manage my emotions is sometimes I don't. So there can be situations where
I love
like
how
you're
you said
feeling
sometimes I don't. Yeah.
yeah, and you shouldn't like you can't always control your emotions, and you shouldn't always control your emotions
Mm-hmm.
because they are after all your emotions, and they the best thing is to sometimes just let them come through you and let them pass. Like sometimes I felt really really sad, and yeah, I've tried to like battle it and I've tried to be happy that day, but
Right,
it just
right.
doesn't happen. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'm so frustrated
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't
Mm,
happen, and sometimes
mm,
I'm really angry, I try to change it, and that doesn't work either. So like the only thing that actually helps me is like I sleep and then I wake up and then like everything like it's a new day, it's a new start.
right,
So
right,
I
right.
always sleep for a really long time, like for 7.5 hours, and that's the way I kind of manage my emotional state. And yeah, I
Vilvinash.
suggest doing that for everyone.
Yeah, buddy, you
Yeah.
said you were talking about, you feel angry sometimes and get emotional. I would say
Uh-huh.
part of it is because of your hormones at this sort of an age, but
Exactly. Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
your fault. Like we all
Yeah.
go through it. My God,
And
I have such big problems with acne. It's ridiculous in high school.
yeah, so you shouldn't be trying to like manage all of that. So you should
Right.
sometimes just let it
Sure.
all
Yeah.
go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not completely at fault for whatever happens to you. Like it's
Yeah.
just part of life. You can't take responsibility for everything and every single person around you, right?
Yeah.
Your happiness is your own responsibility. Just be
Of
grateful
course.
Absolutely.
for
Yeah.
what you are. Like you being
Yep.
born in itself is a miracle, right? Only when you
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
only when you appreciate yourself for who you are can you manage time in high school and everything effectively, right? Just be
Yeah.
yourself first, right? That's
You
all we
after
want
all
to
want.
prove in this podcast, in this
And
episode
Yeah.
of the podcast.
one more
Go
thing,
ahead.
guys. I'd like to
Right.
add on that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
treat your day as quarters. Okay, as work quarters, I would say. So the first quarter didn't go well because you did not follow your routines. Maybe
Mm.
everyone's got morning routines. Okay, so treat
Yeah,
your day as
of
quarters.
course.
If the
Hmm.
first quarter doesn't go well, doesn't matter. You've got 2 more
Hmm.
quarters left. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
can catch up on work there. Okay, treat your day as
Exactly.
work quarters. The work day didn't go well until the lunch break, and my boss shouted at me. So let's turn it around. Let's get morning's
Right.
work done in my
Right.
afternoon and the evening back. Why not? Yeah, we could do that. Huh?
It's never the end of the road, you know. You always got
Oh,
another
no.
chance. Life is full of chances. Just take every single one of them as much as you can. It's okay.
Opportunities.
Exactly. If you, yeah, same thing, dude. It doesn't matter. So
No,
like,
they're not.
so if you just take every single one of them, love it, Pratham. Just take every single one of them. And be yourself. That's all we gotta say.
Yeah,
By the way,
and
guys,
life
whatever we
itself is
spoke.
one of the greatest opportunities. So yeah, Pratham, you can go.
Yeah, by the way, whatever we spoke here, we've got data. We are speaking by data. Every single
Mm.
study is linked down. So make sure you check them out to get more idea about what we're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's that.
and so yeah, so
And
that's
and
bringing us to the yeah.
right. So that's all we wanted to talk about for the episode, right?
Yeah,
I guess
so
we can
that
wrap it up
brings
now.
us to the conclusion. So
Right.
yeah,
So
we'd like to
yeah,
thank you all for putting up with us and however long it has been. I don't know how long it's been. So much for time management. But actually, it's been a real pleasure to work with you guys and help you guys. And so drop a like and subscribe, and also like follow us on Instagram. You can join our community support group, and you can also fill out a feedback and tell us how to like make better podcasts or improve our podcast. You can all like check all of this as Pratham said down in the description below. And special mention to Achyut, our techie Yarkhan. Thank you again and have a great day.
an awesome working with you guys, and hope to catch you guys on the next one. All right. Peace out, guys. Make sure to be yourself and be awesome.